Welcome to my channel. It really means a lot to me to subscribe to the channel. Alright, let's talk about this thing called life. Apparently, it's shorter than you think. Most folks are just casually strolling through it like they've got an infinite number of days, which is, frankly, adorable, but also wildly inaccurate. Here's the stark reality check. The average human gets a measly 30,000 days. That's it. If you're already hitting the big 3 to 0, congrats, you've already blown through about 11,000 of them, gone, poof, never coming back. Saying I should do it someday is basically telling yourself a polite lie. Someday is a dangerous little word that whispers sweet nothings about endless time, totally tricking you. In the next little bit, we're going to unpack some surprisingly useful strategies to actually make your time count, not just shuffle it around. These aren't your grandma's dusty old time management tips. These are insights into how this whole life thing actually operates. Chapter 1: Your brain is a time bandit. First up, your brain is apparently playing elaborate pranks on you regarding time. Remember when summer break felt like a geological epic? A single day could drag on like a week. Now, years whiz by like months. This isn't just you getting old, it's the time unit paradox. Your brain, the sneaky thing, measures time by how many new experiences it records. As a kid, everything was shiny and new, forcing your brain to take notes constantly, which made time feel like it was moving through molasses. But as an adult, same boring breakfast, same soul-crushing commute, same binge-watching session of that show you don't even like anymore. Your brain gets lazy and just skips recording these moments. Another Tuesday? Yep, saw it already. Welcome to the trap of time blindness. But you can totally hack this system. Take a different route to work, just for kicks. Learn a completely random new skill every month. Strike up a conversation with a stranger if you dare. Each new tiny experience forces your brain to snap awake and pay attention, making time feel like it's stretching out again. And here's the most epic time perception fail. We are absolute champions at overestimating what we can cram into one day, but hilariously bad at realizing what we can achieve over an entire year. This is precisely why so many brilliant goals crash and burn faster than a cheap drone. Chapter 2: Declutter your life. Most folks confuse being frantically busy with actually being productive. They fill their calendars with tasks that feel super important but are ultimately about as significant as lint. Here's a fantastic, slightly morbid tool: the deathbed test. Picture yourself at 90, ideally with a full head of hair and some decent stories. Looking back, will you honestly care about that extra hour you slaved away at the office? Or will you cherish the time you actually spent with people you didn't want to escape from? Suddenly, figuring out what truly matters is easier than finding socks in the dryer. While you're muttering, "I'll just finish this one report," life's real priorities are quietly slipping away, like sand through your fingers. Smart people get this. Knowing what not to do is often way more valuable than knowing what to do. It's the to-list strategy. Jot down everything you think you want to do. Now, put a big fat circle around the top 3 things. Everything else, that's your avoid at all costs list. Think of it like compound interest, but for your life choices. Small, daily investments in the right priorities multiply over time, turning into something awesome. The villain in this story? Social media scrolling, pointless busywork, and endless distractions. They're like tiny energy vampires, stealing your precious attention from the stuff that truly counts. The superhero solution: ruthlessly eliminate the non-essential. Your time is too darn valuable for anything less. Chapter 3: Building your social bank account. Relationships are like quirky bank accounts. Every little interaction is either a deposit, yay, or a withdrawal, ouch, a genuine compliment, deposit. Showing up late constantly, major withdrawal. And just like a real bank, if you haven't put anything in, you can't suddenly start taking things out. The classic line, "I don't get why they're upset. I only bug them when I need something," perfectly captures the problem. Most people think big gestures are the key, fancy gifts, extravagant parties. But here's the juicy truth. Small, daily deposits matter as so much more. A random thinking of you text, actually remembering tiny details about their life, just being there when things get tough. Here's a weird one. Shared suffering can build stronger bonds than shared pleasure. Navigating challenges together creates a deeper connection than just having a giggle. Also, don't be a snob about your weak ties. Those casual acquaintances, the distant friend you only message on their birthday? They're your secret bridges to new opportunities, wild ideas, and different perspectives. Your close friends comfort you, but your weak ties help you expand. Want to feel like you have more time? Help other people. It's the ultimate paradox. Giving away your time somehow makes you feel richer in it. Chapter 4. Your career isn't a ladder, it's a jungle gym. Forget the traditional career ladder, it's a lie. Modern careers are more like crazy jungle gyms. You gotta move sideways, diagonally, maybe even slide backwards sometimes. Each move, even the weird ones, helps you build a unique mishmash of skills that makes you practically irreplaceable. Your best career opportunities aren't where you're comfortable. They're usually just one small step outside your comfort zone. This is the adjacent possible, that sweet spot between what you already know and what you could learn next. Saying I need to stay in my lane is a one-way ticket to Careerville. Population, stuck. Here's a massive rookie career mistake. Optimizing for cash way too early. Especially in your 20s and early 30s, you should be optimizing for learning. Every new skill you bag is like buying a lottery ticket for future awesomeness. Remember this, money follows knowledge. Always, that comfortable job you're in, it's career quicksand. The longer you chill in a role you've totally outgrown, the harder it is to eventually drag yourself out. And here's a little secret weapon. Productive procrastination. When you're desperately avoiding one task because, let's be honest, we all do it, channel that avoidance energy into learning something totally new instead. Your weird little procrastination projects might actually reveal your true passion. Chapter 5. Your health is your everything. Listen up, health isn't just about trying to live forever, it's your life force multiplier. Every single other part of your life either gets better or falls apart based on how you treat your body, period. Think about it. Would you rather have 8 hours where you feel like a superhero, or 12 hours where you feel like you've been run over by a bus? Your energy levels are way more important than the sheer number of hours you have. Saying I'll sleep when I'm dead is the mindset equivalent of setting your own pants on fire. Sleep isn't just rest. It's basically your brain's superpower charging time. Without enough sleep, your decision-making skills are roughly equivalent to being legally drunk. That promotion you covet, that relationship you're nurturing, they all need your brain firing on all cylinders, which requires actual sleep. Here's a mind bender. You are essentially two different people. Morning you makes all these grand plans. Evening you has to actually follow through on them. Don't let morning you be a total tyrant. Life hack alert, micro workouts, 10 push-ups here, a brisk walk there. 5 minutes of awkward stretching. These tiny bursts of movement add up like magic. Your body was built to move, not to become a permanent fixture on a chair for 8 hours straight. And remember this golden rule, physical movement creates mental clarity. Stuck on a problem? Go move your body. The answer might just appear like a sudden notification. Chapter 6. Learning like a boss. Want to really learn something fast? Try teaching it to someone else. It's called the teacher effect. Explaining something forces your brain to actually understand it on a deeper level, instead of just pretending to. Thinking I'm not ready to teach yet. That's exactly why you should try. Your struggles are your secret teaching superpower because you still remember what parts were confusing. Here's a sneaky learning hack. Read biographies. Why? Because each one basically gives you a lifetime of someone else's experiences condensed into a few easy-to-read hours. Want to dodge common screw-ups? Learn from people who already made them so you don't have to. Most people try to be okay at everything. Smart people? They are strategically bad at some things. It's called deliberate amateurism. It keeps your brain bendy and your ego from getting too big for its britches. Constraints aren't your sworn enemy, they're your secret superpower. Limited time, limited money, limited resources, excellent. These limitations actually force your brain to get creative and find clever workarounds. And perhaps the most valuable skill of all, knowing when to quit. Strategic quitting isn't failure. It's like clearing out junk to make room for cooler stuff. Quit fast on things that aren't helping you level up. Chapter 7: The Secret Life of Emotions. Emotional Intelligence. Your emotions are wild, but they apparently come with a built-in timer. The actual chemicals that create feelings like anger, fear, or frustration only hang around in your body for precisely 90 seconds. After that, you, my friend, are actively choosing to stay in that emotional puddle. Saying I can't help how I feel is only half true. While you can't stop the initial wave, you are absolutely the boss of the second one. Think of emotional regulation as a superpower. Raw intelligence might land you the interview, but being able to keep your cool when everything's going bananas is how you actually get the promotion. Why? Because people trust the person who isn't spontaneously combusting under pressure. Most people hide their weak spots like they're protecting a state secret. Smart people, they use vulnerability strategically. Showing the right amount of vulnerability at the right time builds way deeper trust than pretending to be perfect all the time. Here's an expensive mistake: avoiding difficult conversations. These conversations are like compound interest, but in reverse. The longer you delay them, the more painful emotional debt you pile up. That tiny issue you're pretending isn't happening? It's growing into a monster while you wait. And gratitude? It's not just a fluffy, feel-good exercise. Unexpressed gratitude is like having money in a bank account you can literally never touch. Use it or lose it, folks. Chapter 8: Money, Time, and Not Being Trapped. Money isn't just boring numbers in a bank account. It's actually about something way more precious: your freedom of time. Here's the irony most people miss: making more money often makes you poorer in time. As your income grows, your lifestyle tends to expand like a runaway balloon. Bigger house, more maintenance, fancy car? More worrying about scratches. Nicer neighborhood, probably a longer commute. You think, finally, I can afford all the things. But that's the sneaky trap: lifestyle inflation. It's like running on a treadmill. You're moving super fast, but not actually getting anywhere useful. Consider time affluence. Would you rather make a nice $100,000 but work 80 soul-crushing hours a week? Or make a respectable $70,000 working a chill 30 hours? Your true hourly rate needs to include everything you sacrificed for that money, like your sanity. Most people completely misunderstand this. They buy stuff, objects, but rent experiences. Smart people do the opposite. They rent objects and buy experiences. Why? Because experiences actually get better in value over time as memories, while objects just gather dust and lose value. The ultimate financial superpower: building margins. Living below your means isn't about deprivation. It's about creating breathing room, a buffer, space for opportunities. That space? That's your golden ticket to actual wealth, which is freedom. Chapter 9: Unleashing Your Inner Weirdo. Creativity isn't some magical lightning strike you wait for. It's more like turning on a rusty old faucet. When you first twist the handle, what comes out? Gross, rusty water. Those are your bad ideas, and guess what? You need those bad ideas. They're clearing the pipes for the good ones. Waiting for the perfect idea is like staring at the faucet, waiting for crystal clear water without ever turning the tap on. You have to push through the gunk. Here's another weird one: creativity loves constraints. Give someone endless options, and they'll probably just stare blankly into space. Give them limited options, and their brain suddenly gets super creative. Shakespeare, for example, wrote within strict rules of meter and rhyme. Those limits actually forced him to be brilliant. Most people try to be their own harshest critic while they're trying to create. That's like trying to drive with one foot on the gas and one on the brake. You're just jerking around awkwardly. First, create. Judge later. Document everything you make. Your brain is like a creativity muscle that needs to see its progress to get stronger. Those early, embarrassing attempts, they are proof you're actually getting better. And the real secret sauce, combine skills nobody else bothers to combine. That unique intersection of your random abilities? That's your creative superpower waiting to happen. Chapter 10, Energy Management is the real MVP. Okay, time management is cute, but frankly, it's useless if you're running on empty. Your energy is your most valuable asset. You can't do meaningful work if you feel like a deflated balloon. Most people have zero clue where their energy goes. They don't realize some activities are giving them juice, while others are sucking them dry. That morning walk, energy boost. That friend who only complains, energy vampire. Thinking you just need more willpower? Willpower is like a tiny, overworked muscle. It gets tired. Smart people don't rely on brute force willpower. They design their environment so making good choices is practically automatic. Think about decision fatigue. Every tiny choice you make drains a little energy. What to wear, what to eat, when to attempt exercise. That's why successful people often wear the same boring outfits and eat the same breakfast. They're hoarding their decision energy for stuff that actually matters. Here's a sneaky energy hack: strategic incompetence. Be deliberately just bad enough at non-essential tasks that people stop asking you to do them. Your energy remains protected for the things you're actually awesome at. And remember this crucial point: recovery isn't wasted time. It's how you actually multiply your time's value. Resting makes you effective when you are working. Chapter 11, Your network isn't just business cards. Success isn't just about your brilliant brain, it's also about who you know. But let's be clear, real social capital isn't about collecting business cards like trading cards or hoarding LinkedIn connections. It's about building genuine relationships. Here's the not-so-secret formula for friendship: time plus vulnerability plus shared experiences. You can't skip any of these steps. Real connections need all three ingredients. Thinking, "Ooh, I don't have time for networking," you're missing the point entirely. True networking isn't about taking, it's about connecting. The best networkers aren't collectors, they're connectors. They introduce people who should totally meet. Most people are terrible at relationship maintenance. They wait for huge life events like weddings or funerals to reconnect. But strong bonds are built in the tiny moments. That random "how are you" text, that quick spontaneous coffee meetup. That's where the real magic happens. Think of your community like a garden. You can't just dump all the seeds on the ground and expect a lush paradise. You need constant, small acts of nurturing. Every conversation is a little sprinkle of water. Every introduction is fertilizer. The people who are truly successful, they built their community before they desperately needed it. Because when you're in crisis mode, it's way too late to start building your support system. Chapter 12, Your brain's mental maps. Mental models are like your brain's handy little shortcuts for trying to figure out reality. But here's the catchphrase from geometry class: the map is not the territory. Your mental models are always simpler than the messy reality they represent. That's both their strength, they help you understand stuff, and their weakness, they might be totally wrong. Most people only see what's directly in front of their nose. They're playing checkers while life is playing complex, multidimensional chess. Second-order thinking is your unfair advantage. Don't just ask what happens next, ask what happens after what happens next. Thinking something seems like the obvious choice, ask yourself, obvious to whom? Your brain's map might be missing some crucial information. That's why getting multiple perspectives isn't just nice, it's absolutely essential. Here's a powerful truth bomb. Knowledge isn't power, understanding is power. Knowing that a tomato is technically a fruit is knowledge. Understanding is knowing you absolutely should not put it in a fruit salad. Most people collect facts like squirrels hoard nuts. Smart people collect patterns, think using inverse thinking. Instead of racking your brain asking, how can I possibly fix this giant mess? Ask, how exactly am I creating this problem? Sometimes the brilliant solution is simply to stop doing the thing that caused the problem in the first place. Revolutionary, I know, Chapter 13, you are the architect. Your life isn't just some random thing that happens to you while you're checking your phone. It's something you get to actively design, like a cool project. Think of it as a portfolio, but not just of money. A portfolio of experiences, relationships, skills, and audacious dreams. Most people fall into the trap of overvaluing making elaborate plans and completely neglecting actually testing things out. Life design isn't about crafting the single, perfect, never-fail plan. It's about running small, low-stakes experiments to see what actually works for you specifically. Believing I need to figure everything out perfectly first. That's completely backward. You can't just think your way into the right life. You have to test your way there, like a slightly confused scientist. Here's the secret most people miss about making big changes. Tiny adjustments create massive results. Want to totally transform your life? Start by changing just one thing for just 5 minutes. That tiny win builds momentum like a snowball rolling downhill. Think about your metrics. Most people measure their success using boring old society standards: money, status, how many gadgets they own. But what if you designed your own metrics? What if success meant spending more time with your family? Or learning a new skill just because, or helping other humans out? Regularly reviewing your life isn't an optional extra. It's how you spot problems when they're still small enough to easily fix. Monthly reviews help you dodge those big, cringeworthy yearly regrets. Conclusion: seriously, stop waiting, okay? Deep breaths. Life isn't about magically finding more hours in the day. It's about getting better at making the hours you already have actually count. Everything we've covered, from realizing your brain messes with time perception to building your relationships, managing your energy, and actively designing your life, it all works together to help you create a life that's genuinely worth showing up for. Remember, time is going to keep ticking by whether you decide to use it wisely or just let it dribble away. Your daily habits are secretly becoming your days. Your days are becoming your years, and your years? Yep, they're stacking up to become your entire life. So here's the final word: start small. Pick just one little idea that actually stuck with you from this rambling. Test it out, tweak it, make it your own ridiculous experiment. The absolute best, most perfect time to start actually living fully isn't someday, that dangerous word. It's today. Now go do something awesome, or at least slightly less boring.